All right, guys, so let me go ahead and introduce some of the people that we have with us, and then we're going to, as we go through the forum, we're going to show a couple more of the films, including the grand prize winner. Let me introduce the four people that are up here first. Mark Ruppert came up with the idea for the 48-hour film festival back in 2001. And the results have been really amazing, as they have now found a competition in over 125 cities around the world, with more than 310,000 filmmakers having participated to date, and they have made more than 25,000 films of a quality like these that you've just seen. Next to him is Mr. Olivier Dussois. I'm sorry, I butchered you, who produces the 48-hour film festival in France. This past year, he set a record with 150 teams competing in Paris. That's 150 of these 7 to 8 minute films in Paris alone. He also has 48-hour film projects in other cities like Lyon, Tours, Montpellier, and Dijon. Has his own production company. All these people are very much vitally still involved in film and video production. Oh, I didn't even do this right. Next to him is Yochai Haddad from Jerusalem, who is a very talented filmmaker, but has talents in so many other areas. When I was reading his bio, I was kind of blown away, saying this is the kind of person, the kind of background a real filmmaker should have. He's also a poet. He has a degree in Jewish studies, and he is a certified bee breeder. I had to put that in, it was too good. And on the very end of the table was the producer and director, TL, is that right, of the last film we saw?
Yes.
Of the last spy thriller, or whatever we just saw. That great little 8-minute film, again, was produced from scratch in just 48 hours on a Friday night. They get a couple of lines of dialogue, they get a couple of characters assigned to them, and basically say start from scratch. And by Sunday night at the same time, they have to have not only the film scripted, shot, edited, scored, and exported, ready to bring and show at the place. It has to be a finished product in just 48 hours. TL, yours is really, that's some pretty elaborate effects and things you had going there. How did you approach something that looks so large on the screen?
Well, this year I had a 3D artist who, Friday night we wrote it, we had this idea in mind. Saturday we gave him the direction on the whole missile 3D sequence, and he did the title sequence and the hero credits at the end. So while he was working all day Saturday on that, we were able to shoot it with the actors, and I edited a rough cut Saturday night. He gave me his footage Sunday morning, and we finished the edit.
So you had a separate crew working on the graphics.
Yeah, well, just one guy, but yeah.
Well, yeah, separate guy. Yeah. How did you've got a number of awards over the years, I saw, and quite a great career. How did you fall into doing these short films?
Well, when I was a long time ago in high school, it was the first year they had an in-school TV station in Florida for my senior year, and me and one other guy really took to it. For everybody else, it was a class. They did the lunch menu, they didn't care. But he and I took the camera out every time we could, and we just started shooting things, and I've been doing little stuff for fun ever since. I kind of got serious about it in 2010, which is when I started my first team on the 48.
And what lured you into it? I mean, just the challenge of it?
I think growing up watching so many movies and so much TV shows, I didn't realize at the time that I was actually studying, learning, what to do right and what goes wrong in making films. And it's just like learning through osmosis. I didn't go to film school. I went for media production, so I know how to use the equipment, but I'm not a filmmaker from a film school.
So how did you finally get into that main road? You went through a media production sort of degree first?
Yeah, I went to Florida State. It's ACC, not SEC, don't worry about it. And I was on the football field with, the football team covered. It's more of a sports-oriented media production environment. But it teaches you framing, camera work, how to edit. And after that, it was just all the fun stuff I wanted to do.
So in your childhood, watching films and the like, or watching TV, is that when the kind of the seed got planted? When did you get kind of pulled into this?
Yeah, my mom was married to an actor, for a stage actor for a while, and he got me in the youth theater. So I did stage acting as a kid and continued acting in my own little productions. I'd write things that I could go out and shoot with my friends, and just never stopped.
Yep, that's one of the things that, well, of course, our students are most interested in is how you got into it. People who have formal education in one way and then end up going another, and now you're developing content besides just the actual process itself. Did you get involved with the actual story, or you have other people helping with storyboards, or how do you develop your piece?
I have a writing partner, Michelle, and we write a lot of our stuff together. The seed for this was mostly something that I thought of, but we ran with it. Because you've got 48 hours, you just have to, I mean, the name Tech Squad was more of just a placeholder. We usually go back and try to come up with a better name, but this one seemed to stick, so.
Okay, and the idea of where the thing was hidden came.
Yeah, we actually the start of this was the gun in the belt joke. Undoing the belt from behind, and he says, "I hope that's a gun," and it is, because we thought that was silly. But then you have to construct it outward and say, well, why couldn't he take off his own belt? So he has to be chained up. Why is he chained up? Let's make him cops, because that's why he has a gun. And why are they in this situation? And you work outward until you have a short script.
That's fun. Well, it certainly ended up being a really tight product. Let me, and guys, turn up the film a little more when you roll this time, please. Let me show this next film, which is called Special Treatment. And Hojai, this is yours, right? Let's go ahead and get a look at this one and see what happens.
כן, במדרג האחרון היינו שוב הראשונים. משם עולים ליהודים, למעלה ושמאלה זה המעבדות, ויש עוד דרך קיצור מלמעלה, אתה כבר תראה.
היי.
תכיר? זה סגן המנהל, נועם ראובני.
נעים מאוד.
גם לי.
טוב?
אתה תמשיך איתו?
כן, תודה אדר. טוב, בוא אנחנו נמקם אותך. אל תדאג נדיר, אתה תשתלב אצלנו צ'יק צ'ק. בוקר טוב. להרים את הראש. תכירו, זה המורה החדש שלנו, נדיר. מתוקה. לא עדכנו אותך בפרויקט יחס אישייה?
يا امي مش طبيعي مش طبيعي. شو هالولاد بدها بالمخدرات؟ شيء مش طبيعي. سألت سؤال ساعة كاملة ولا واحد رد. قاعدين بالصف. مش طبيعي. مش اولاد بتردش زي الميتين.
فيش مشكلة. بعدك بأول يوم بتتعود. انت مصدوم ها؟ انا كمان المعلم للغة العربية. هذا لو امر لك؟
لا انا متأسف بس انا مش فاهم ليش
حبوب؟ هيك بتعلموه. اسمع مني،
انا تعلمت بدون حبوب.
الأوقات اتغيرت. اليوم في يخص شي فهم؟ פעם זה היה אחרת. אני רוצה שתיתן יחס אישי לכל אחד ואחד. صح?
طيب. ילדים, לפי הנוסחה שעל הלוח, מה המרחק של כדור הארץ מן הירח? בוקר טוב תלמידים. אז ילדים, איזה חוק של ניוטון הוכחנו היום?
كيفك؟
تمام.
أنا بترك صفك
ليش؟
عشان السلام كل السكون في البيت فايتي في البيت اطلع وبرا
נתתי להם.
אני נתתי להם.
הם היו בסדר גם בלי.
אתה לא מבין כמה זה מסוכן. גם בשבילך וגם בשבילם.
מה מסוכן?
תקשיב לי. דבר ראשון, מחר על הבוקר אתה נותן להם את הכדורים, ברור? פהם?
שלום ילדים, היום אנחנו נעשה סיור בחלל ונלמד על שביל החלב. הבאתי סרטון. ילדים בשקט בבקשה. ילדים בשקט בבקשה, לשבת, לא צריך לקום ילדים. ילדים לשבת. ילדים לשבת. ילדים לשבת. تعال النادي الخراب تبعك בוקר טוב תלמידים.
Was this the first year for the zombie category?
If I didn't get the question.
Was this the first year for the zombie category in it?
No.
Yes.
No. I
Zombies.
think
Okay.
Oh, we've had zombies for a while as a film category. Tell us about how you made it. Tell us about how you got into film and then how did this happen?
Okay.
By the way, I understand you've got one of your main zombies here with you today.
Yeah.
Right all the way in from Jerusalem. Go ahead.
So, as you said, I began with the film life only 5 years ago.
Only 5?
5 years ago, yeah, in the 48-hour project. I was in the beginning of the second degree in Jewish philosophy, and I was a poet. And suddenly I understood that if I want to say something about the world and that people will listen to me, it will not be in the poetry field because nobody read poetry. And then I began to work and to try to make a film. In the first year, I make a Western film. That this is a kind of genre that we don't have in Israel. And in the second year, I make a birthday movie, that this is a genre that not exists at all, only in the 48-hour project. In the third year, it was science fiction, that this is also genre that we don't have in Israel. And this in the fourth year, I made a zombie film that this is a genre that really don't exist in Israel. This is maybe the first zombie film in Israel.
Except for the big budget World War Z, which was...
in Israel.
It was set in Israel.
Yeah.
But it was Hollywood. If
a movie from Hollywood happened in Israel, you know, it's not an Israeli film. So I mentioned it because I think that that a lot of time a language that connect to a words, it's something that can separate us. And a language of film, it's something that it's a very long bridge between culture. And when we make a movie like a zombie movie and a Western movie and a science fiction movie, we really can say something new about my culture. Okay, and that's all.
Yeah, well, it's amazing that you were able to take something that is as contemporary and kind of colloquial and just kind of a fun imagination thing like this zombie genre and still put a message inside of it, right? Still use it for a message about humanity and what's happening in Israel.
I work a lot in the last 4 years with youth under risk, children under risk, that coming from a hard neighborhood, and this is, you know, this give me the opportunity to give them a power, to give them the power to tell a story that nobody can tell, only them, and nobody else will tell the story. And of course, the first reason that I make a film is to say something. And I think that I need to do that in a very delicate way, because I don't need to, I don't really know what to do or what is wrong or what is right. Maybe I can show, you know, to put a light on these things and on the other things, and to hope so that something good will happen.
Is this the video culture as pervasive in Israel as it is here? For instance, like we talk about it in class, like a Lady Gaga video goes up on the internet, and then within a week there are 200 different little Lady Gaga videos made by kids underneath it. Is that sort of thing still happening in Israel? I mean, are the phones and video cameras out there to do this?
Yeah, we have phone and video.
Well, I mean, as far as using them
in Israel, but I think that our culture, it's a little bit different. I think it's not so strong like in the States. But yes, we have a kind of culture that exists in YouTube and.
They still speak in terms of video.
Yeah,
as much as anything.
absolutely, yeah. And this is, this is the biggest thing that happened in the last 10 years, that something happened and we don't understand it till the end, that now that we have the opportunity to say something in the video language, that it's only exist in the 10 or 15 last year, so.
And yet it gets out to so many people.
And
it gets out to so many people
Yeah.
so quickly.
Yeah.
What turned the switch for you as you have such a diverse background? What finally turned the switch? I know you were saying that you think, no, poetry isn't getting out to as many people. What turned the switch and said, okay, let's turn it into images. Let's make an electronic poem.
I married and I understood that I supposed to do something serious with my life.
So, something might also make a living too, I would imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So poets don't make a lot of money or at all. So.
Well, what is it like being a filmmaker in Israel, where you can affect so many people so quickly, and yet there are things happening all around you that are so dramatic all the time? Living under that, does it give you a special responsibility?
Absolutely, yes. I don't know how much you know about Israel, but a lot of time it's look like that we have two big things in Israel. From one side it's the conflict, the Israeli-Arab conflict, and from the other side it's the Holocaust. And sometimes we forgot that people live between these things, and I think that if you make a movie and film, you have a lot of responsibility to people, to change the reality, to understand that people they are not a term in the kind of big history or something like that. That the secret of life, it's. The secret, it's in a very precise and delicate moments, and the filming, it's something that דניאל, איך אומרים מאפשר? Okay, the filming is something that lets me do that. For example, if you want, now I make a project about how Jewish people going to sleep, which kind of lullaby the parents tell them, and so on. And now, after the 48-hour final, it's going to be in some countries that the filmmaker will send me a footage that show how in their states children go to sleep, because it's. And if you want to participate in this project, you can talk with me after the panel. But for example, a filmmaker from Hong Kong told me that she made the film in Taipei, Taiwan, Taipei. And the people in Taipei run away from China, and now they think that the sea it's something that it's very evil and something very bad, because this is a border between them and between China. And this is kind of stories that they tell to their children. So I try to find a moments and to put a light on these moments, and maybe something someday will happen.
Like even fairy tales have a moment of reality in them that makes it somehow more significant and makes it apply to people's lives. It's very exciting. I'd like to show, because we got started early before you guys got here, I'd like to show one more film that you guys didn't get a chance to see. This one is one of the finalists from DC. It's a very short piece. And then I'd like to talk with Olivier about the new sorts of films that are happening in France.
What do you think this is?
A genie lamp? Nobody touch it.
I already am touching it.
That doesn't count, right?
But just don't rub it.
Somebody else take it.
No!
Look, there's a 1,000-year-old genie in there that's gonna come out and grant our wishes, okay?
But those wishes are gonna screw us. Just like that monkey paw. All right, guys, look. There are 3 of us.
5 of us.
And 5 wishes.
There are 3 wishes.
So we need to think about this really carefully. We want to win the lottery.
Here's the thing with the lottery. Everybody that wins the lottery ends up blowing it, and then their lives suck afterwards.
Oh.
We should win the lottery twice.
But I still feel like we're gonna have taxes on it, right?
So good. Right. Okay, tax is a whole different issue.
Wait. Wouldn't this count as like a gift? Then we don't pay taxes?
I would think so. Wouldn't this be
My
like
hand has a cramp in it.
Cheerleaders.
Yeah.
Alex, that's good, but
Yeah.
the thing is we still have to be very specific about it, right? Because we don't want to wind up with a DVD copy of the movie Cheerleaders.
Right. So, human cheerleaders.
Right. Above age,
Yeah,
but not
Sure.
too old.
And attractive.
Female.
Yes.
Well, not entirely. I'm okay if there's some guys in there. Because they need to be able to do the stunts and stuff.
Right.
But we're not getting cheerleaders because we want them to do stunts, are we? Are we just having them pose for us?
Whatever we want. Laundry, dishes, dinner.
Yeah, I think sex. Sex would be my reason.
I'm good with that.
Wait, do I rub it against me, or do I just kind of like rub it?
I'm out.
Neil?
I got priors.
What does this mean, guys?
That smell is awful.
Is he dead?
Of course he's dead. He's been in there 1,000 years.
I don't think we get our wishes if we have a dead genie.
Actually, Alex, maybe we should. Hello. Let's move him.
Okay.
Okay.
Away from the street.
Oh, squishy.
You guys are doing really good. You guys are doing good.
Like, I think it's in my nose. Like, I still smell it, like, in my nose.
Ew, it's on my hands.
Do you
it's
smell
on my
it?
hands.
Do you smell it?
It's brown.
Like, I
Look
feel
at
like,
that.
I'm gonna have to take like 80 showers tonight just to get rid of the stench. Like, I can't.
Yeah.
Like,
I wish you guys just shut up for 2 seconds. We've got to deal with this. We have a dead body here. We got to figure out what to do.
My dad would know what to do. I wish he was still alive.
I could have wished for so many selfless things, like a cure to cancer, world peace, an end to hunger.
Yeah, well, I wish this dead body would just disappear.
I wish for cheerleaders!
I wish for human female
$1
cheerleaders.
billion.
Maybe we're out of wishes?
You used our 5th wish to wish the genie away.
3rd wish, but if that's the case, then what are the other 2?
You wished that we would shut up for 2 seconds, and we did.
All right, what was the other one?
Oh, Papa.
And Olivier, so you ran through 150 films like this just in Paris?
Yes.
You've seen a lot of changes.
Oh yes, so many changes.
What is kind of the nature of this, the new big wave of obviously a lot of people doing it, of French filmmaking versus like the classical French director, producer? What's happening now in France?
Let me say one thing. There's two kinds of schools in Paris and even in France. There's schools who love the 48-hour film project because they say it's awesome to have this creativity in 2 days. And there's schools who teach people to make our famous French movies, you know. Two people love each other, don't love each other, maybe they have a cat and not a cat, and it's ideal. And those people, because we went to see all the schools to say, this is the 48-hour film project, and there is an interest that the students run it. And there's some schools say, this is not possible. And our big success is when those people come to some screenings and they watch this kind of films and have fun and get message, as you said. That's the first thing. After that, the big changement, evolution, is the internet. People now coming to run the 48-hour film project come from the YouTube culture. Our city winner this year, the two main characters are very famous in France because they are YouTube stars. And when I say to my son, oh, take this, I don't know those guys because I'm not a YouTube consumer. But I say, okay, look at this film, it's a fun film, what do you think about that? And he go on his computer and he look at the film and he's coming back, say, are you kidding me? Say, what? This is my favorite actor on the internet is playing, and I never see this guy. And there is, for example, a famous network in France named Canal+. I don't know if you know Canal+. They just now bought a lot of young companies who make video on the internet, on YouTube. So that's the main people coming. Of course, there is also a technical aspects. When we start to run the 48-hour film project, people give us film on DV. Now they give us USB keys, and they have the strength of the computers helps to make so many good special effects, as you see in the first movie, that you can't imagine 5 or 6 years ago. So that's the first thing that happened. After that, we have the profile of people who run the 48-hour film project. We have people like you who want to say something in video, and they start first one, and maybe the quality is not good, there is no light, there is no sound. There is an history, but it's not good. So they come after and they learn, and they grow. And I was very proud because last year, one of those young guys, there were 120 teams last year, and this young guy who started 4 years ago with a very bad movie gets the best directing prize, and we were very happy with him. And he's 22 years old. You can imagine how we can be happy with the guy. After that, we have people coming from schools, and schools helps to run the 48-hour film project. We have also friends, we have architects, we have video clubs, we have my taxi driver, because he said, what are you doing? I say, okay, I will come next year, and he came. And we have video companies who love these contests because in France we have an expression, maybe you have the same, it's the fact to have the client on your shoulder. Because when you produce a film, narrative or for clients, whatever, you always have the client on your shoulder. You say, oh, you put something red, but I'm sorry, I prefer blue. But you say, no, it's better red. No, but I pay, so I prefer blue. And you say, okay, I will put it blue, you pay. When you run a 48-hour film project, you do what you want, because you have no client, you are just friends with you. That's it. And it's for them a moment of liberty, and also in front of the standard way to produce shorts. They just have to act. You know, when you make shorts, you always, okay, I will see if my friend is available for this weekend, but the other one is not, and I need to find something, I need to write my script. Here, you come in a place, you just take a paper, okay, you have to make a zombie movie, you have to make a western, you have to make a comedy, you don't know what to do, but you have 48 hours. That's very, very important to be free and creative. And some filmmakers told me that when you run a 48-hour film project, you just act. And you don't say, this is good, this is not good. You make your film, and that's it.
Yeah, and it's amazing, though, the level of professionalism I've seen. I've been judging the New Orleans version now for like the last 3 or 4 years, and the first couple of years, it was like high school attempts. And in the last couple of years, I've just been astounded. I mean, TL, I couldn't believe the professionalism, and I kept, what kind of budget did he have to do this? Just amazing. $3.
I forgot the fake blood at home, so we had to buy some fake blood. The budget was $3.
Amazing pieces. Now, I know we got started late, so a lot of you didn't see these. I'd like to show just one more from the Rome competition, and then we'll all sit and talk for a bit, and Mark can tell us more about what's happening with the filmmakers that are getting exposed to this great program. This is from Rome.
Hanno ordinato la bouillabaisse.
Sai cosa sei? Sai cosa sei? Niente di...
Non mentre faccio la bouillabaisse.
Allora lo ammetti. Io so anche con chi.
Dimmelo mentre mi passi il basilico.
Crepa, asparagi e ginepro per il 33.
Cioè, che tristezza. Con l'istruttore di tennis. Come ricordo.
E chi te l'ha detto?
Io come faccio a sapere che questo è mio figlio?
Gâteau au chocolat per il 26.
Adesso tu mi guardi negli occhi e mi giuri che questo figlio è mio.
Io non ti devo giurare proprio niente. Gloria agli scorfani. 1, 2.
Adesso basta. M'ammazzo.
Ma che fa?
È allergico al lattosio. Lascia stare, tanto non ha le palle.
Giuro che stavolta lo faccio.
Non fare cazzate.
Se fai solo un altro passo, giuro che me la mangio tutta senza masticarla.
Non mentre faccio la bouillabaisse. Il filetto va tolto. Muoviamoci. Come sta lo gnocco? È salito? Ragazzi, mi raccomando, la bouillabaisse. Gloria!
Eccomi!
È un medico?
Quasi, è un infermiere.
Antonio De Angelis.
Vabbè, muoviamoci.
Deve farla partorire.
Qui?
Ma va, che sono tutte scene.
Muoviti, che devo fare la bouillabaisse. Quindi
spinga.
Dove vai? Ce l'hai messa la scorza d'arancia?
Sono finite le arance.
Sono nel frigo!
Non fa niente.
Per favore, si vuole concentrare sulla spinta.
Non so se hai capito chi sono. Io sono la regina della bouillabaisse. Adesso tu ti alzi, vai nel frigo e prendi un'arancia!
Tutto suo padre, vero?
Perfetta.
Okay, Mark Rupert had started this whole thing in 2001.
That's right.
What made you think this was the way to go, Mark? How did this really tell us about how it started?
Well, I had read an article about two women who had started one of the very first 24-hour play competitions, and I thought that was really cool. And I said to myself, I wonder if we could do it in video, and we would definitely need more time. So at that time, I was working on a couple of short films of my own. I finished those up, and a couple of years went by since I had read the article, and I was between projects, and as Olivier has described, you get to this point where you're ready to do something, but the script isn't finished, the actor's not available yet, and all of these things. So the concept of the 48 hours is it throws all those restrictions out the window. You've got the weekend, you got your friends together, your cast, your crew, and then you just do it. And this is a very, it gives you a great release, this sense of freedom that I don't have to second guess. I don't have time to second guess decisions. I just have to go forward and doing it. And what it produces, as you can see in the films you've seen today, is this unbelievable burst of creativity. When you've got that deadline and you've got your creative group with you, what the filmmakers can come up with is just astounding at times.
It's, I have really been amazed at the way it's worked. All of you guys, how do you think this, how do you think going through the process has changed the way you think about film? Kachai, what about you? Has it changed your way?
It's not changed because I began the way with this project, yeah. But I really think that when you get out the money from this project, everything is became more simple. You don't need a contract, and all the people that coming with a pure energy. This is not money. This is not something that connect to my life, you know, to the simple life. We know that another 2 days, like that children is coming to the world, and we work very hard on that.
Yeah. Mark, have you seen the subject matter change over the years? I mean, the advent of zombie movies, of course. Right. But have you seen the kind of subject matter they come up with? Have there been more and more gunfighters and whatever, old detectives, more comedy? What sort of things?
Well, it is interesting. The biggest change over the years, of course, is the technology.
Yeah.
And this kind of sense of this education of filmmaking and how to be a better filmmaker. I think it comes a lot from the society in general absorbing a lot of films. So technically, if you compare films from 10 years ago to films today, they look amazing.
Yeah, I think that the Italian piece was actually shot like on a red because it's the 2.4 to 1 aspect ratio.
Sure.
So it's amazing what they're out there shooting with.
Absolutely. And so as far as the content, traditionally comedies always play well. I think that's the standard short film favorite anyway. And of course you have lots of filmmakers who love to do the shootouts and the violence and that. I think that kind of the murder is always an old fallback for many people. What becomes more interesting, and you'll see at the close our grand champion for the year, is the films that can tell a story with a message, which is nice. And so we see a nice mix of things, as Olivier alluded to. In each of our cities, and we are in 120 cities, you'll get the full spectrum of the teams, the very beginners, the people who've done it for 5 or more years and have a more polished film, and it's interesting.
But it's amazing with how little you can do it. TL, the whole idea that you could do such a polished film with special effects for $3, it must have been your whole lifetime put into that 7 or 8 minutes to be able to come up with the skills to be able to do something like that.
Well, yeah, and a great team. I mean, I write, direct, edit, act, but I could not have done that without a full crew of people getting it all done. So, like Mark was saying, the good thing about this project is that everybody saves that weekend in town. Ours is in August. All the actors, all the crew, they all know that's the weekend I'm setting aside to do this, because in 48 hours I'm going to have a finished film on my demo reel.
It's amazing. How about, I have to admit, Olivier, so you've got 150 Parisian teams working, and then you have all these urban, but still a lot more rural areas that are making films too. Do you find there's a difference in subject matter, style, whatever, as you get into the country?
Yes, and also thanks to the internet, now people can just come at the kickoff, and after they take their car, because for example, if they get one movie, they got to make the film as a road movie, so they go on the countryside. We have one team last year who decide to start in Paris and finish on the seaside, 200 kilometers. So they shoot in the car, they go on the seaside and shoot and come back and edit in the car. And they did it. But there's so many stories. I think one time, Mark, we have to write a book about all the stories. For example, we have one guy who decided to make he got comedy, and in his team, in his crew, we have a Japanese guy. And he said, okay, we are in Paris, we will make a story of Japanese tourists who happened a lot of fun things in front of Eiffel Tower, etc. And Saturday morning, when the shooting starts, the Japanese guy from the crew say, I'm sorry, I'm sick, I can't do it. So they have to rewrite all the story, and they change completely the story, and they get best script.
Wasn't one of the Paris films the grand prize winner last year?
Yes.
I saw this film. You guys would. I wish I'd have kept a copy. And it was about a film crew shooting a hot love story with an older man and a younger lover. Is that the correct one? And he dies right in the middle of the shooting. And they don't want to stop the movie, so they keep posing the corpse all the way through it in various shots. And in one shot, he's actually supposed to be in bed with his lover making love, and they're actually shaking the dead body, and she's crying the whole time. Very, very strange, but very funny and very,
yes, very funny. When you said like this, maybe it's better to see the movie because.
Yeah, I think so. I can't quite describe that one. Thank you. By the way, guys, we're gonna show the last piece. The winner was from Amsterdam, right, Mark?
Exactly right.
From Amsterdam, and it's a serious drama. It's a pretty amazing piece. And while we're showing that piece, I'm going to ask the gentleman to go up in the lobby since we won't have much time for questions so that you guys can talk to them and get the benefit of some of the things they've done. In the meantime, let me go ahead and put up, this is the grand prize winner from Amsterdam for the Filmapalooza, which is the overall film festival these gentlemen do every year with the winners from all the various cities. And again, this is from Amsterdam.
Ja, mooi. Mooie das.
Mark. Lekker ding.
Dan duw ik hem tegen de oven aan.
Oh, sorry. Zo, is het met onze kok in de opleiding?
Goed.
Oh. Ik ga het vertellen.
Hallo, Chantal. Man, jongen.
Piep, hoera.
Is het niet alleen voor mij?
Ja.
Is ook voor mama.
Heb jij nog zo'n bord?
Tom.
Ja, nog eentje. Ja. Wat wil je iets zo?
Ik weet niet, zo'n lang bord of zo.
Ja, wat? Sorry, pa. Ik help even, anders dan... Iets nodig? Wat zoek je bord?
Ja,
hier zijn borden, hier zijn borden. Tja.
Kan ik nog eens de eendjes gaan voeren met mijn kleindochter of kleinzoon?
Ja. Het gaat niet lukken, Joop. We kunnen geen kinderen krijgen. Nee. Traag zaad.
Hoe ziet die ander eruit? Heb je hem een beetje kunnen raken of is het niet mogelijk? Moeten we het er dan maar niet over hebben? Heb je dat liever? Nou ja. Ja, ze mochten blij zijn dat ik er niet bij was. Goed.
Dus jij loopt alleen over straat midden in de nacht, komen 4 gasten op je af en je slaat terug? Naam Kastelein, voornaam Tom, geslacht man. Ik ga volgende week beginnen met hormonen slikken.
Heb jij nog plannen?
Ja, we gaan volgende week weg.
We gaan volgende week naar Zuid-Afrika.
Doe dan maar.
Ja.
Het is een eind vliegen, maar het is wel lekker dat er geen tijdsverschil is, hè? Je hebt geen jetlag.
Nee.
Het schijnt prachtig te zijn. Nou ja. Dat is de eerste verjaardag zonder mama. Ging best aardig voor de eerste keer, toch?
Nou, dat ging best...
Ga naar huis. Ik bel je later.
Skies and night, all for true for you tonight.
Beautifully done film. And a lot of it's coming out of the work of these gentlemen. And I'd like to thank again Mr. Mark Ruppert, Mr. Olivier Dessauss, Mr. Yochai Haddad, and T.L. Westgate. Thank you so much for being here.